Welcome to my Asshole Podcast. Let's get into it. Welcome to my Asshole Podcast. Boy, do we got a juicy episode for you guys today. You know it's Sunday, so we got our boy Michael in the house. Oh man, hope you guys are ready for a good, juicy little episode. Today's thread was picked out by your boy over here. It's what was your could never be me, but did indeed become you. All right, so let's see what we got going on here. Alright, so what was your could never be me, but it did become me? Physically disabled. I've been a workaholic for the last decade and herniated some discs in my back. I can't walk now. Livid. Yo.
Damn. I mean, yeah, damn. That was like a rough one. I didn't expect something like that out the gate, but
I didn't either.
Oh, damn. I hope you weren't mean to disabled people, too, before you became...
Right. Dude, you must have got your comeuppance.
Yeah, bro.
Oh, it must have been one of those things. I guarantee you, he probably was just like, damn, I told that dude in the wheelchair to fuck off. Yeah. And now I'm in a wheelchair,
yeah.
Dude. Oh, bruh.
You know, dude was left and right talking about, yeah, could never be me having to use a ramp to go up to places, pushing myself in a wheelchair. And then, you know what? They're like, you know what? Let's go ahead and get this, man.
Yeah.
Now you're disabled, idiot.
Oh,
damn.
Man. Big man up in the sky was just like, oh, I got something for
you. Yeah.
I got something for you, bro. Oh, damn.
Jesus.
All right, what was your could never be me, but did in fact become you? I used to always say things are rough, but at least I'm not allergic to cheese. I must have pissed off a witch at some point because now I have got that curse. Oh, dude, that's gotta suck. He's lactose intolerant now.
Jesus.
He's like, oh, you can't eat cheese? Couldn't be me.
Yeah.
One day, bro, I had a quesadilla and shit his life away.
God damn it.
Oh, bro.
This is just proof right here that you probably should be careful with the words you choose.
Oh, 100%.
Especially, I guess, with this thread in particular, using that it couldn't be me is just going to end up being you.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, dude, I'm definitely going to be watching what I say now because, dude, every time on Instagram, I be getting those videos where, like, it'll be like mentally challenged kids.
Oh,
it'll
damn.
Be like somebody with like one arm and, you know, like a little nub. And I'll laugh so fucking hard at that shit. I'm like, bro, I did not laugh at that because one day your boy might just wake up and be like, I'm like, no.
No.
I'm what I laugh at on Instagram.
Yeah.
Oh, bro. All right, what was your could never be me, but did in fact become you? Tried to guess the number of candy corns for a work event, and I actually got it right for $100 gift card. First time ever winner of anything. All right, I mean, you kind of missed the assignment on this one.
Yeah.
But congratulations, at least. You know, some people just put in the thread because they just need to tell somebody something.
I mean, yeah, a little bit of positivity. You know, he was like, I could never win anything, and then he did. So,
True.
Hey, I mean,
oh, okay, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, you're right. He was probably just like, dang. He probably looked at that jar and was like, man, I don't win anything.
Yeah.
Bro.
Yeah.
And then he won.
Yeah.
All right. That was a W. Never mind then. Okay. Hey, W. Okay, what was your could never be me, but did in fact become me? Staying in a shitty relationship, knowing the absolute truth of yourself, knowing the absolute truth of them, and knowing the right thing to do 100% of the time are hard to juggle when you're face planted into the issue at hand. Facts. There's so many people who are really good at giving relationship advice, except for their own fucking relationship. They'll be in like a super shitty relationship and they're like, everything is fine. And then they see, oh, he didn't carry your groceries. Oh, you got to get out of there. This and that. You know, they're quick to tell somebody else to get out of a relationship. but they can't get out of their own shitty relationship, bro. That's so many people.
Yeah, definitely. I would say I think it mainly just comes from the idea of like no one wants to say they wasted their time. And he's like I said before, people gaslight themselves into anything. So of course he's like, could never be me as I live it right now.
Yeah. That is so bad. Oh shit, dude. Yeah, well, man, hypocrisy in us be real sometimes.
Absolutely.
All right. What was your could never be me, but did in fact become you? Being old and grumpy, bro. Facts. And you want to know why? Gas.
Yeah.
Gas. When I was a kid, I was just like, oh man, gas seems super cheap, whatever. Now we're older, bro. I'm like, $4 a gallon. Who the hell? What is going on? When it got to $5 a gallon, bro, I was just like, bro, what the fuck is this? And then I find myself getting grumpy at like fucking young kids sometimes.
Yeah.
The whole 6-7
Yeah.
thing. And I was like, when I was younger, in early 20s and stuff, I never, and I mean ever, thought that I would be like that old grumpy person, bro. But nah, I'm 30 now and I grew up to be exactly that.
No, I definitely hear you, dude. And for me, it's more so food prices, brother. Like
100%.
every time, and like I never thought I'd be the parent, right? Everyone, you swear you grow up, you're like, I'm never gonna say that, right?
Oh yeah,
no
to McDonald's.
Yes. Because, bro, I'd be like, fuck, $8 for a goddamn Happy Meal? $8?
We were on the phone.
Oh my god.
Oh man, and he was just like, yeah, my daughters, they just look at me and they just think food comes out of nowhere.
Yes. $8 for a fucking Happy Meal, and they're gonna take 1 to 2 bites and be like, I'm full, I'm gonna go play now, bro. Let's just throw that shit away. And I'm like, God,
like, fuck me, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh man.
And yeah, I think it's because part of it is like when we were growing up, it was a lot cheaper. So it's making that comparison where I'm like, now, like, goddamn, it's like fucking 4 times the amount it was.
100%.
And now my kids waste it,
the dollar menu doesn't exist anymore.
No, absolutely not.
99-cent stores don't exist anymore, bro.
Yeah.
I was having this conversation with a friend of mine, and he was just like, yeah, they're all Dollar Generals. And I'm like, oh, but there's one more 99 cents. So I could have swore. He was like, no,
you got clapped.
Dollar General.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no way. And I drove past it, and what do I see? A fucking Dollar General.
Yeah.
And I'm like, there's no. And then you walk up in there, mind you. Everything is like $3 to $5.
Yeah.
I'm like, Dollar General, my ass, bro.
A $3 to $5 General.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's called the $3 to $5 store. Like, what are we talking about, man? Oh, dude. It's why 5 and below, I guess, got really popular too.
Yeah.
Damn. All right. What was your could never be me, but did in fact become me? My mom always chats up waiters, waitresses, cashiers, etc. She will tell these people the most random of things, often on the edge of too much information. Always unrelated to whatever is going on. You get the idea. I hated it when I was a kid, so I'd never do that. The other day, my partner was like, boy, you sure do like telling waitresses stories about random things. Fuck!
God
Bro,
damn.
and you want to know why? Is because when you're a kid, you have a fuck ton of friends. So you're just like, yeah, there's no way I would ever have a conversation with the Starbucks employee or with it, because you have a bunch of friends. Once you become an adult, dude, you got like 2 friends. Because I know that's me. I got 2 friends, and he's one of them.
Yeah.
Bro, I don't have friends like that because there's just so many people. Like when you get older, there's just so many people who either fall off, they have kids, they move away, they claim they're too busy, whatever it may be. It's just like, dude, you just don't have friends like that no more. So you kind of take conversation where it comes,
Yeah, and that, I mean, I'm still not really necessarily there yet. Like, if we're in line, I'll talk to the stranger, like, around me if they start striking up a conversation, but never am I, like, pulling in a waiter or waitress's ear or, like, someone that's got a job to do because, I think just knowing people in workforce that, like, have done, like, the food industry, they're always like, dude, I got, like, 50 other tables to get to, and the worst thing about, like, being at a friendly table is they try to talk your ear off and then I get behind, you know? So I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, I try to keep that consciously in mind when I'm out.
Yeah, I feel you on that because they know of my like retail experience when I worked in Stater Brothers in the stores and I worked in the meat department. There would be people that would talk my fucking ear out. They're like, "Oh, can I get 2 pounds of whatever?" And then I'm like, "Oh yeah, no problem." They will talk to me, and I'm just like, "Anything else?" And they're like, "Oh, nothing else." But my daughter did. Da, da, da. I'm like, "That is amazing, sir. That's fantastic." Yep, you got it. All right, on to the next person. No, okay. What's up with Auntie Denise? You know what I mean? So I definitely get it because there's some old people that would come in and they'd be like, "Oh no, I just want to talk to you." This and they don't buy nothing.
Yeah.
They buy nothing. They just want to talk to you. That's all. That's it. They just want to fucking have a conversation. They just want to talk to you. So, yeah, dude, I definitely get that. I catch myself doing this sometimes.
That definitely, and that's why I'm saying I haven't gotten there yet. So because doing door to door, like I was telling you before, it's the same thing with old people when I would go to their doors, you know, I'm like, "Hey, you know, would you be interested in this product?" And they're like, I don't do the whole door to door thing. You should get the fuck off my property.
Oh, man.
And I'm like, okay, like, let's relax. I'm not trying to force nothing or anything like that. I'm like, well, you know, like, the problem is back in my day, you could get a bucket of chicken for $5. And I'm like, oh, okay. And they're like, yeah. And like, look, you see my dog back there, dude? Like my dog, his food is like $80 now. And they start going off on a tangent. And then they actually like, well, you're a really good listener. And I'm like, I'm just trying not to be rude. And I hope you buy right after this. Literally right after this.
Facts, bro. That is so facts.
Oh my god.
Oh man, dude. All right. What it was your could never be me, but did in fact become you. Enjoying running. Okay. I always hated just straight pure running and always thought it was the most boring and needless torturous form of exercise. Was always more of a dance class or team sport type of person at best. Then one day at an extremely poor point in my mental health and what I can only describe as botched form of self-harm, I told myself I was going to start exercising more and it was going to be running because I didn't deserve anything actually enjoyable. Hey, I mean, honestly, I always give the advice to the guys, you know, that break up with girls and they can't get over their girl and stuff like that. You know, when you're in the low part in your life, yeah, bro, exercise and it helps you out. It just gets your mental off of things, and I think people tend to gravitate towards the things that get them out of holes or out of like deep depressions or stuff like that, just because it's the simple fact that it was the positive that got them out of the negative. And so some people just, they gravitate towards it because they like, if I continue to do this positive thing that got me out of the negative, then I'll never be negative. I'll always be positive, or I'll at least be at like a median, you know, where I'm not positive nor negative. I'm just like, I feel nothing. I'm just kind of chilling. So yeah, man. Hey,
I feel like that dude was a pretty positive guy to think like in a cynical kind of way where like he was trying to torture himself and like I don't deserve to do things that I enjoy and ended up running and then like, oh, actually now I enjoy this a lot. You know, it's like that I think in and of itself is a way of being positive. He just didn't know he was being like positive about his like depression or whatever he was going through.
True.
But you know, I mean that should be a lesson, you know, like there's two types of couldn't be me's. The ones where you get your comeuppance. Yeah. And then there's the one where you come out as a beast, you know?
That is very true, bro. That is very true. Okay. What was your could never be me, but did in fact become me? As a teenager, I used to think my mom was weird for saying she didn't want to drive anywhere. I thought she was just being lazy. I'm sorry, Mom. I get it.
Facts.
Oh, like, okay, and this is coming from car guys.
Yeah.
Okay, we are car guys through and through, but bro, it's other people.
Yeah.
That's what I hate about driving. It's other people. There are so many times where I'm driving and someone doesn't know what lane they need to be in. So they go all the way from the fucking right lane, all the way to the left lane, and I'm like, bro, and then they're like, oh, I didn't really need to be in this lane. Let me just get over again. And you're like, bruh, Come on, man.
Bruh.
And or either that, or it's a thing where they're driving dog shit slow for no reason. They're pushing on their brakes, and you're thinking, okay, maybe there's a car in front of them. No, there's nothing in front of you stopping you. You're just on the brakes for no fucking reason. Or the one that really pisses me off, they slow down to green lights.
Yep.
Bruh! I'm telling you, driving just infuriates me. And that's the reason why I don't do it.
And all of them will always be a Prius. 100%. Can't convince me.
Man.
It's going to be a Prius.
Or Nissan Altima.
Oh, God. Nissan Altimas are just reckless. All over the road. 150 miles
shit,
in a 25. Going
Oh,
crazy. Jesus.
Man, fucking terrible, bro.
Terrible.
It is absolutely terrible. Like, why in the heck do people not use Google Maps? We have the greatest invention of technology ever, and people just don't use it. I'm like, bro, are you not Googling this? Like, if I don't know where I'm going, I will Google where I'm going. I will get directions. I'll have the directions. If it says I need to make a right, I will be in the right lane to be prepared to make the right. Some people will just sit in the left lane, and then they're like, oh, my light is coming up. Good luck, everybody else.
Oh,
Like, bro,
that shit boils my blood, bro. When people cut all the way, like their exit is going to fucking kill them if they miss it. Jesus Christ, bro.
Oh,
Like, I drive more often with my kids in the car than not, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so, I mean, I try to drive a little bit more responsible with them in the car because obviously in the rally car I cut up, you know, it is what it is. But with my kids in the car, I try to be a lot safer, but that's when I feel like I see more of the drivers that are being dumb on the road.
Yeah, they just, out of nowhere, they're just like, he's got kids in the car? Oh, yeah. My $2,000 just came in.
Yeah. Oh my God. They pull a GTA fucking programmed NPC where they target the player. And they're like, yeah, I'm driving straight towards him now. Yeah, I'm crashing right into him.
Exactly. If you guys have ever played Grand Theft Auto 5 and you're just driving along and the NPC car just turns in front of you, bro.
Doesn't even try to hide it.
That's what we're
Rockstar will
talking
not
about.
even try to hide it too.
No,
Nope.
no.
Same deal.
Oh, shit. All right. What was your could never be me, but did in fact become me? Alcoholism. Ooh, facts.
That one hit hard. Yeah.
Yeah, that one's a little personal. I ain't gonna lie to you. Just because I always thought that I would never become that kind of person, but then when I in my early 20s, when I traveled, I was a traveling musician, played in a lot of different places and stuff, and you're just kind of living that little lifestyle. You don't think it's a problem, and then you realize, holy shit, I am having like 4 to 6 beers every single night. You're just like, you come to a pass where you're like, yo, and then you stop drinking a beer and it feels weird. It feels awkward. You feel almost like you need one in your hand. Like, I got to that point one day and I was like, what am I doing with my life, bro? I never thought I was going to be that kind of person, but I became it, dude.
Yeah, honestly, I think it's one of those things where, like you said, you kind of just like, it kind of snowballs away from you. And then for myself, you know, when I would see the symptoms and stuff where I'd wake up, drink, and then, you know, whenever I could just sneak a few shots in there or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
And I was like, these are like signs that I'm an alcoholic, dude, but I don't feel like I'm an alcoholic, you know? Like, I would call myself more like a high functioning alcoholic or whatever you want to call it. But it's like, when I would compare, like, sometimes I would stop and compare the amount of like water I've had to alcohol. I'm like, it's been a couple of days, dude, that I haven't had fucking water.
Yeah.
The only real reason that like got me to wake up is like one day I was like taking a nap and then like I woke up with like chest pains and I was like, yeah, this is probably the fucking end because I couldn't breathe. Like my chest was real fucking tight. And I was like, dude, like I think I'm about to pass out and die like right here, dude.
Yeah, man.
And then from there, like I weaned myself off. And ever since then, I was like, yeah, you know what? Like it's been a few months now where I haven't touched the stuff, but like, yeah, that shit will slip away from you is what I'm getting at. You know, you're like, it could never be me. And then you start doing things that like line up with alcoholism. And then you're like, well, it's still not me because like I'm aware, you know, but that's not how that works. You know?
And honestly, dude, I lied to myself. I was just like, I'm a social drinker, bruh. I lied to myself. It was a thing where it was just like I'd be by myself and I'm like, I need a beer, and I'm like, what is going on with me, bro? It was like I couldn't go without it, and I tried. Like I said, I lied to myself big time. The fact that when you were saying you were like, oh, I'm a high function alcoholic. The fact that you even just called yourself an alcoholic is like a bigger step than I took. I sat there and was just like, oh no, I'm just a social drinker. Oh, whatever. While I'm drinking by myself, doing fucking nothing, watching anime. It's like, dude, you get to a point in life, bro, where you're just like, that shit sucks. It's not good. And even just being a social drinker, I don't think is being good either.
That's facts.
Yeah, even being a social drinker is not good. It can spiral away from you, dude.
And that's one of those things too, where if you have like the questions, or if you have like the idea of like it could never be me, I encourage you to like write that stuff down. Like how many you've had, how much you've had, stuff like that. And then see where it lines up with like your water intake or any other drink for that matter. And write the times. And then if it doesn't really make sense for those times and those amounts to really be adding up, then you probably should start scaling back.
Yeah. The fact that you were saying that you had more water or you had more alcohol
than water. Yes.
Yeah. That's a fucking wake up call.
Yeah.
That to me would be like, oh shit. Yeah. All right, man. What was your could never be me, but did in fact become you? Growing up, I always thought, man, my dad is mad all the time. Guess who's mad all the time now? Hey, bro, I won't lie to you. Yeah. All right, and this is for kind of like, I guess the young guys out there, if there are any. Dude, trust me, when you become an adult, man, you're going to realize why your dad did a lot of the shit that he did, bro. You're gonna, like, as a kid, you're gonna look at it like, oh, my dad's being unfair, oh, my dad's being this and that, and he's da-da-da-da-da. Once you become a man, bro, and you become the head of a household, when you start to take on a lot of responsibilities, when you're responsible for other people, you're responsible for just more than yourself, bro, you're gonna be like, yeah, I see why my dad was doing the shit he was doing. I see why my dad, was acting the way he was, bruh. Oh yeah, man.
Yeah, and that's one thing too, especially coming from, I would say, like black families in general. It's just one of those things where we kind of all just have a lot of anger around each other as like a norm. Yeah. It's one thing that like through my mental health journey I've started to learn is like, you could get the same message across without being angry. Anger is just your response because you're passionate about some type of like either like moral or like some type of value that you hold close to yourself, and you're trying to express that to the people around you. But you got to really just understand and have that ability to take that step back from the anger and be like, all right, how can I express this without the anger? Because it's never really necessary unless you like, anger is like, I would say an emotion that is supposed to give you strength. So in like specific scenarios where you need to be like forceful, like defending yourself, stuff like that,
peril and saving someone's life kind of thing.
But like a kid annoying you or something like that, like if you're trying to protect your peace, kids understand. You can just tell them like, hey, like, why don't you go play over there or something like that. You know what I mean? Because it's just they're not going to understand that like you're trying to have a moment of peace. They're going to think what I'm doing is wrong. Does that make sense? And it's the same thing for like partners, relationships, friendships, all that type stuff, right? Like we as adults understand that people get mad at each other, so we kind of like forgive each other pretty quickly, or we're used to like that kind of talk, But it's just one of those things where like it trains people not the way you think it does when you respond in anger and stuff like that. I definitely get where you're coming from, because I myself struggle with it all the time, and it's something that I'm trying to like work on,
Yeah, because I was a hothead before. I ain't gonna lie to you, I was a hothead. Anything that would tick me off, just the smallest thing, I would blow up and get crazy about it. And my ex-fiance really like stomped that fire out of me, because it was one of those, like you said, there's more ways to say things, more ways to do things. You can get your point across if you just communicate it. And a lot of times, I wouldn't say it's really anger, it's frustration. Because like as becoming an adult, I've realized why my dad was frustrated with the things he was frustrated with. I get frustrated with dealing with some bullshit at work and then coming home and dealing with some bullshit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You
Yeah.
think like, fuck, man, like where can I go where I don't have to deal with the bullshit? As a guy, you know, you take care of everything and then realize, ah, shit, not everything is taken care of. There's more to do. You know what I mean? And so I really don't think it's anger. I just think it's frustration, because it's like once you think everything is done, or once you think the bullshit is over, or once you think, you know, you got all your ducks in a row, all of a sudden, nope, you got more shit to do. And that's what I've dealt with even, you know, when I was in my past relationship, and even now that I'm not in a relationship, still dealing with the same shit. You're just dealing with it different ways.
Yeah.
You know, and so it's one of those things where you kind of have to like learn that it's like, you know what? You got to let it be what it's going to be.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah.
Facts.
And instead of being mad, instead of, raising a pitchfork and all, nah, you're just like, well, it is what it is. What am I going to do to move forward?
Yeah, that was
my next thing.
That's the one thing too about being like a homeowner is like, you know, I deal with some bullshit at work, especially when I was doing sales. You know, you're faced with a lot of rejection on a day-to-day basis, a lot of angry people, a lot of just people that aren't like using their mind, stuff like that. Then you get home and then it's like, you know what, dude? Like, my car will be like, you know, I haven't had this expensive repair done in a while, dude. Like, I think it's time for me to show up. And then your house is doing the same thing where it's like, yeah, you know what? We were just built like not too long ago, maybe like 20, 40 years ago. Let's just break down internally, dude. And then now to the point where I'm like, I just say sweet, dude. Like it is what it is, you know. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yeah.
That type
that's
stuff.
All you can do.
That's all you can do. Yeah.
All you can do.
Getting angry.
Getting mad is not going to fix anything, bro.
Yeah, absolutely. Yelling at the Starbucks barista is not gonna help.
Nope. No, it's just gonna ruin her day.
Yeah.
And you might go to jail.
Facts.
All right, what was your could never be me, but did in fact become you? Drug addict. Specifically fentanyl, which cost me everything, including my family. Then, while clean, I turned into an alcoholic after not being able to sleep, which lasted for a year after starting drinking at 28 years old. Now 8 days sober, a month before my 30th birthday, for probably the 5th time, hoping this time stays true. I hope so too, dog, because, man, I get it's not easy, but that's why I always tell guys that in their moments of rehabilitation, they need a fucking hobby, bro. They need a hobby, because the thing is having hobbies, you got to understand, as an addict, you're always going to be an addict, okay? And so it's up to you to either change that addiction into something good or into something bad. And for you, instead of going to get a hobby, you decided, I'm just going to drink beer because it's not as bad as fentanyl. And it's like, no, bruh. You should have thought, okay, what are my interests? What do I like to do? And then you fill your time with that instead of drinking. You know, and I think that's your problem. That's why you can't stick with it, man. Find a hobby. Find something that you enjoy doing. I don't care if it's, you know, it's knitting, it's cooking, it's streaming, it's, doing a YouTube channel or doing this or doing that with your friends. You gotta find the hobby, bro.
Yeah.
Gotta find a hobby, man.
And that's what I was saying. It's definitely one of those, it sounds like one of those situations of like out of the fire into the frying pan type ordeal.
Yep.
Where you moved from one niche to the other, and now like, yeah, you're not doing fent, which, I mean, I've heard stories. I've never touched the stuff myself. I've heard stories, but
same.
That shit sounds awful. I don't know why someone would want to do that, but to each his own. Alcohol was another replacement for, you said you had issues sleeping, but there's healthier methods for that kind of stuff. Like my boy said here, is you find a hobby, you get fulfillment out of doing that hobby. You don't need alcohol, drugs, whatever the case may be is, right? Like I find a lot of fulfillment out of doing the stuff that I do. You know what I mean? And that's what he's talking about like, if you're always going to be an addict, might as well get addicted to something that's positive in your life. So that way you find the same fulfillment that you do from the other stuff, and you're also working towards a better life. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure you have stuff that you like to do other than drinking, right?
Yeah, there's gotta be.
And so just find something where you can work at it and build in real life, and then from there it's gonna be the addiction that you fell in love with that's actually just good for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, man. Like we said, you gotta get a hobby, son. You'll be alright though. But hey, congratulations.
Yeah, kudos to
and,
you.
Happy birthday on your 30th. We might be late, we might be early. I don't know. All right. So what was your could never be me, but did in fact become you? Work an office job. Was a chef for 6 years and got burnt out. Now I sell seafood. Huh.
Okay.
All right. I mean, look, I'm the type of person that I'm never going to get down on a person, like, on what they do as a job. I look at it like, bro, making money is making money.
Facts.
Yeah, I mean, like, whether you're making 60 grand in an office or you're making 60 grand, shoveling shit. Money is money at the end of the day, bro. As long as you are making money, I look at it like you're contributing to society and you're doing something. Now there are lucky people that get to do what they love as a job, and then there are people who aren't so lucky and they have to kind of do a job that they don't like, but it pays the bills. But I always look at it like making money is making money, bro.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, don't ever sit there and be like, oh, I'll never work this, because you will find yourself working that. Because what are the most popular jobs that people sit there and say they won't work? Are jobs that people who lose their jobs gotta work.
Yeah.
Yeah, motherfuckers will be just like, oh yeah, they be in their office talking about, I'll never work on McDonald's job. The company goes under, they lose their job, and then now they're put the fries in the bag,
bro.
Nigga.
Yeah, facts.
So, yeah, man.
I am curious as to what that looks like, though. He said he sells seafood out of an office. Like, are you just filling orders? Or?
Oh, no. See, the thing is he said he worked an office job. He was a chef. He got burnt out, quit the office chef job, and now he sells seafood. So I think he's probably like, one of those fresh seafood vendors places where they have the case. And, they're like, oh, yeah, give me a pound of da-da-da-da. And he's like, okay, I got you. So I think that's what's kind of going on. But some people, though, they'll work like real high-level jobs, and they look at it like the money is great, but that's not what they love doing.
Yeah.
There might be a situation where this selling seafood job, he enjoys it more because there's more, he can talk to more people.
Yeah.
There might be something that he likes about it, but I guarantee you, but when he was in the chef job, he's like, man, I would never be one of those.
Yeah.
All right. We're going to do two more and we'll end the thread and we'll get into our scenario. So, what was your could never be me, but did in fact become you? Positive, be married in a healthy relationship. No abuse. No abuse, so much love, trust, and patience. I didn't know you could feel this way about a person. A negative one is I never thought I would ever understand why my mom was the way she was, and I do now.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah. I guarantee you for her, it was probably a thing where, because like for us men, we kind of look at our dad and we're just like, yo, man, what the fuck? What I've noticed is with women, they combat like their mom a lot more. And they're just like, bitch, you're being unfair, and oh, you're this and that, and oh, you're jealous, and blah, blah, blah. And so I guess now that she's a mom and, she kind of sees like, okay, yeah, maybe I was being a fucking turd,
Yeah.
Maybe I was being kind of a piece of shit as a daughter when I was growing up, and I think, honestly, growing up, living on your own and having kids, you're going to learn your parents a lot.
Yeah.
A lot. You're going to be like, damn, okay, I see what's going on. I see why that shit happened.
Yeah, that was one thing for at least myself, too, was actually, I guess it fits in with the thread because I was like, dude, I'm never going to be like my pops. In the sense of like his like the anger issues that he had. And then now that I'm grown, my mom is like, dude, you remind me more and more of your dad every day. And I now start to see where I'm like, yeah, dude, this is something my dad would say. And it's like I see how it negatively impacts like my kids, and so I'm working towards it. But it's just one of those things where like you can't really say this will never be me until you're actually in that situation. But you really got to just be like conscious about, all right, this might be me if I'm not careful.
Yeah, most definitely, because You just never know. Because
Facts.
I always tried to look at my parents and be like, okay, these are the things I want to imitate, and then these are the things I don't want to be. And then what did I go end up doing? Being exactly the things that I didn't want to imitate. Yeah, 100%. All right, this will be our last one for the thread. So, what was your could never be me, but did in fact become you? Becoming morbidly obese with a BMI over 40 and being an alcoholic. Not anymore, though. Down 76 pounds with 14 more to go. Sober for 6.5 months. Thank the gods for trizinapide. Okay, shout out to trizinapide. But honestly, okay, all right, look. This is me. I be talking shit about fat people all the time.
God damn it.
Oh my god, I be talking mad shit about fat people all the time. Because my thing is look, it's not hard to control calories, work out, and live a healthy lifestyle. Like, for me, I look at it like it's not that hard. I personally think it's a thing where just people are simply lazy and don't want to do it. And to my, thing, that is true. There are a lot of people who are fat because they just simply don't want to do it. They're just lazy and they don't want to do it. But personally, I look at it like, bro, if I'm able to do it, I ain't nobody special. I ain't no Superman. I ain't no, you know what I mean? Like, I'm nobody special to nothing. If I can do it, you can do it too. And there's just no excuse. And I mean, I don't get it. And that's why when I give guys advice, when it comes to like being a well-rounded man and stuff like that, I always tell them, I'm like, bro, you can get into the gym 15 minutes a day. Like, that's not hard. 15 minutes is nothing. It's absolutely nothing in the grand scheme of it when you start like going to the gym more consistently. 15 minutes is absolutely nothing. And I even use that. Like, there's days when I don't want to work out. I'm like, I'll just go to the gym for 15 minutes. And that's what I do. I'll go for 15 minutes. I'm like, cool, my 15 minutes is up. And I'm chilling. Same thing with controlling your calories. You don't realize how many calories you eat until you actually start counting them. Like, I remember the first day I started counting calories. And I had fast food just one time because I was like, fuck it, I don't feel like cooking. Had fast food. I didn't realize that one fast food meal is 1,800 calories. And motherfuckers eat that 4 to 5 times a day.
Yeah.
Bruh, you are like, holy. And then it's funny because, like, I compared that to, like, days where, I cooked and prepped all my meals and stuff like that. Bro, I had, like, boom, 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 like, all this shit to get up to 1,800 calories.
Yeah.
And over here, it was one fucking meal. I was like, I see why people are fat in America.
Yeah.
I can see it, dude.
It's like that fucking, what was that TV show, My 600-Pound Life or something like that?
Yep, I see that shit all the time.
Yeah, where I'm like, first of all, I've only eaten a whole pizza to myself one time. That was when I was like in the best shape of my life in the Marine Corps.
Yeah.
And that shit felt awful. Like, I didn't feel rewarded. I didn't feel great, And so when I see people that like eat multiple or eat like a whole pizza with alongside of like other stuff, I'm like, God fucking damn, dude. Like, how do you feel good about that? You know what I mean? Like, you struggle to get out of bed, struggle to walk and do stuff. Like, what part of that feels great to you? What part of that to each his own, right? I'm not saying you can't do shit, right? All I'm saying is I don't understand it myself because and I'm not like a health nut or anything like that. Like, I've been naturally skinny my whole life, but that's because a lot of the hobbies I had were active hobbies of like taekwondo when I was younger, baseball, tennis, sports, stuff like that. Yeah, and so like, skateboarding too. So I had a lot of room to eat whatever calories I wanted. And then when I joined the Marine Corps, I didn't get any better. It's only now that my lifestyle has slowed and my age is like gone up. I won't say caught up with me, but like that, I started to notice a little bit more. But even now, I'm still skinny, and it's just one of those things where I've never counted calories. I've never done any of that stuff. But I just maintain exercise and eat somewhat right. I listen to my body. When I feel gross, I don't keep eating the same stuff. Once I start to feel better, energized, I follow that. Yeah,
man. Yeah, that's why, like I said, for me, I look at it like, That's why I get on fat people. I'm just like, there's no excuse, bro. There is no fucking excuse. It just, I look at it like, even if you, because it all compounds. You know? Like I said, even if you just do 15 minutes a day, it compounds. It's like 2 days, that's 30. 3 days, that's 45 minutes. You know what I mean? Then you get into 4 days, that's a whole hour of working out right there.
Yeah.
And it's like, you didn't feel like you worked out an hour, but you did.
Yeah.
And so it's like, you just compound on that. And, you know, I just don't get why people do it. I understand people are going to be lazy, and it is what it is, man. It is what it is. So that's going to be the end of that thread. Hope you guys enjoyed that thread. Let me know what you thought about it. If you have a situation like us where, you know, we didn't even think we were going to be a part of this thread, but we were a lot more than we liked. So if you have a situation where you were thinking that can never be me and then it became you, definitely leave it down in the comments. All right. So patreon.com/Am I the Asshole podcast. Get an exclusive episode every single Friday, as well as being able to send in your scenario to be featured on the Tuesday and Sunday show like these lovely people did for today. All right. If you want to get your scenario in and, you know, critiqued by our local doctor over here, you know, definitely get in the Patreon, send that in. You can also send scenarios in through Instagram and TikTok. It's just I prioritize Patreon over that. So, audio listeners, thank you guys so much for all the support. You guys are super dope. Appreciate everything that you guys have been doing, man. 2026 has already been off to a great start. It's an amazing start. We were talking about it just before the show, man. You know, we just had a clip that went semi-viral and whatnot. So, just the fact that it's barely 2026. I mean, it's the 4th of fucking January that we're filming this episode. And, you know, we're already, you know, making a big footprint in 2026. I think it's great, and it's all because of you guys, and it's all because of your support, and I do appreciate that. Even if you've been here since the beginning of the show, you know, back in 2023, even if you've been there since, just the fact that you're consistent, you stay and watch the episodes, you subscribe, you follow us on TikTok and Instagram, you download the episodes, all of that allows those platforms to be like, hey, you know what, this podcast is pretty good, let's recommend it to other people. So I do appreciate that. Just coming in and hanging out and doing all that kind of stuff, it's what keeps the show going, and I really do appreciate that so very much. If you want to help out even more, like I mentioned, follow us on Instagram, TikTok, as well as subscribing on YouTube. We recently just hit 2K subscribers over the new year. I do appreciate that. Did not see that coming. That was kind of a surprise and shock to me. And that was kind of a goal of mine. I wanted to hit 2K before we got into the next year, and we did that and actually surpassed it, you know. And so I appreciate that so very much. Let's keep kicking 2026 in the booty, and let's take it over, baby, all right? Me and the Rig 4, we're taking it over. We're doing our dang thing. So, appreciate you guys. Let's get right on into today's scenarios for today. And boy, do we got some juicy ones. All right. Our first one is, my boyfriend tried to cheat with his ex, so I called mine. Diabolical.
Yep.
All right. So a couple of days ago, my boyfriend and I bought a bottle and started drinking together. I fell asleep, and he wasn't inside after he went out to smoke. I called him, and he told me he was an hour away in his hometown. I was pissed because, first of all, he drove drunk as fuck, so we started to argue, and I said, I hope it was worth our relationship. Then 5 minutes later, I get a text from his ex on Messenger saying, hey girlie, your man is at my work trying to fuck, but I have more self-respect than that. Yo!
What
okay.
the fuck?
I'm fucking livid at this point. She proceeds to show me screenshots of him saying we broke up, thanking her for helping him get out of the relationship with me, and telling her he loves and misses her. So I call him, and he doesn't deny trying to meet up with her. He just hangs up and starts getting mad, saying we are being ridiculous, like he's not the one who tried to cheat. Bro, okay, what did you expect? You thought that you were just going to tell her, you girls are being ridiculous, and they're just like, you know what? We are.
Yeah.
Whoops. Of course, the text evidence, her hitting me up saying that you're trying to fuck. Of course I could just let all of that go. It's fine. Bro, come on, man. Ugh. Alright. Like he's not the one who tried to cheat. We didn't break up, mind you. That was stupid. Okay. I was just hella mad that he left me while I was asleep and drove an hour away drunk after drinking more than half a bottle of whiskey. Anyways, he sober up and apologizes. He says he was blacked out drunk. Oh, come on, bro.
Stop the cap.
I don't want her. I have no idea why I did those things. I don't think I ever tried to sleep with her or said I loved and missed her. I want you. I show him mercy and take him back. Oh.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
Come on, girl. All right, well, we got drunk again the next day for New Year's, and I was still kind of upset. My boyfriend gets mad because I left him to go pee. I was literally about to pee my pants, and there were so many people out for New Year's that I needed to run and find somewhere ASAP. He texts me saying he's going to leave, and in that moment, upset and hurt, I get kind of spiteful and call my ex twice. I realized immediately what I did was fucking stupid, and I'm not going to lower myself to that level, so I cut it off and unadded him right away. He immediately wakes up the next day and says, "Let me see your phone." Well, my boyfriend found out this morning through my call logs, and I proceeded to show him I unadded him last night, and it was stupid. Then he leaves, and now I am the problem. I know two wrongs don't make a right, but I actively chose not to do what he did to me. I only called an ex.
Damn, that's a lot to unpack there.
What the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
Bitch, are you stupid? Because it seems like to me you're stupid. Seems like you got a 30 IQ. How in the fuck are you going? Okay. All right, let's break it down. All right, we can break it down. Okay. Homegirl texts you, "Hey, your man is over at my job trying to fuck." You get that text message, "Do your telefono." Then you confront nigga about it. He's like, you're just being crazy. Come on, girl. I see why you said that dumb shit, because your dumb ass believes it. and then he sobers up and he's over here, "Oh, babe. Oh, I never loved her. Oh, I want you. Oh, I care about you so much. You're the best thing that's ever happened to me." And you're like, "Oh, okay, of course. Sure. You love me and everything." And then you sit there. You take this nigga back. He gets mad because you go off to go use the bathroom like a fucking human being. And then just because you call your ex, you think that that's justified for him to be the victim? Fuck no. Are you kidding me? That's like if Michael stabbed me with a pencil and I shot him in the face. Like, bro, you know what I mean? Like, him stabbing me in the pencil did not equate to me shooting him. That's ridiculous, bro. So the fact that him pretty much doing all that shit and you doing the small thing of just calling your ex, nah, bro. You shouldn't have even been in this relationship in the first place for it to even get to the point where you call your ex. Like, bruh.
Yeah, I mean, I'm at the point now where, especially how, right, you guys have your own habits, that's fine. But you guys both downing half a bottle of whiskey. He goes out and drives an hour away, right? First of all, you said it yourself, he was fucking drunk as shit, and you were pissed at him for that. And it's like, how many times does he do that? Does he do that often? Does he talk to his ex often, trying to fuck at her work? Like, there's no way you're telling me that this is a random occurrence. He told you that's a random occurrence, and you're like, you know what, dude? Actually, that makes sense. There's no way he would really want to do that. Yeah. You know what, dude? Like, you know what? It was just the whiskey. You know, it's okay. Like, the level of desperation, the level of little boy syndrome in this man should tell you should get the fuck out of there. Honestly, there's no reason to stay with a man that's like, he not only did he endanger himself, he endangered other people, driving an hour drunk, and then he showed up at the bitch's work to fucking to fuck right there. Like she'd be like, I'm gonna go on my lunch break. Like, no, you're dumb. You're dumb. And that's okay. You can be dumb. Just you gotta be smarter after that.
Facts.
You gotta be smarter after that.
Thank you.
God damn.
Because taking him back is where you fucked up,
Yeah.
baby girl.
Yeah.
Him doing all that bullshit, yeah, we can lock him in a box and tell him he's dumb all we want. But sweetheart, you are the stupid one in this. Now, motherfuckers are going to sit there and be like, oh, but he was the one that did all that. But he did. Okay, but she accepted it. She allowed all that dumb shit to be okay. And I was sitting there thinking to myself, I'm like, why would he sit there and be like, oh, calm down, you're overreacting, oh, it is what it is. Now I see why. Because you tolerate that bullshit. It's worked. He's probably like dry humped a girl in front of you, and then you're just like, oh, babe, oh, you're overreacting. And she's just like, okay, maybe I'm just overreacting. It is what it is. He just dry humped that fat BBL over there. It is what it is. Like, bro, you're allowing too much shit to go by to where these dudes are going to treat you like fucking garbage. If you don't sit there and have some boundaries for yourself and have a goddamn spine, dudes are going to walk all over you. They're going to get away with abhorrent shit. And that's what this dude is doing. And the fact that you guys aren't broken up still is crazy to me.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I heard a saying or something a little earlier today, actually, where someone said, if you see a monster, kill it. Don't sit and have a conversation with the monster. You know what I mean? Because it's one of those things where you're going to try to hear the story out, and then you're friends with a monster. You know what I mean? And then you wonder why you get fucked up because a monster does what a monster does. You know what I mean? Like, you see a monster, kill it. AKA, right, if you have boundaries, don't let people cross them. Don't try to hear people out. Don't try to let people gaslight you into different things. You know what I mean? Like I said, you're being dumb. Just be smarter. Now you have the tools to be smarter.
Yeah, you do. You really do. Because that's crazy, bro.
That's crazy.
Man. Hey, do what you gonna do. That dick, I hope it's worth it. All right, you guys let me know what you think about that one in the comments. All right, on to our next one. Found out flirty coworker has a boyfriend. All right. So I, 26 male, have this coworker, 24 female, who I've been working with for the past 2 months. Her behavior at work seems super flirty. She laughs at all my jokes and sometimes squeezes my arm when laughing, brushing up against me on purpose, calls me her boss even though we are in the same position, shared with me personal issues like her stalker as well as personal health stuff, and her menstrual cycle. Offered to buy me a new coffee mug, even though the one I had was fine. Offered to bring me home cooked food. Always gives me a ride to my car, etc. We even spent like an hour and a half in her car just talking a few weeks ago. I could go on and on, but I think you get the point. After this, at a certain point, I also started to like her. How could you not? However, a few days ago, I found out that she has a boyfriend. She herself mentioned it, and now I am super confused. Was I wrong in thinking she actually liked me, or was I completely misinterpreting what was going on? I feel kind of stupid for this. Ooh.
No, so yeah, that's the thing, right? Like, and there's like memes about it. There's videos about it on like TikTok, stuff like that. You find it, right? It's those flirtatious coworkers that are unavailable, right? Where at work they're doing X, Y, and Z. They're like, "Oh, you're so bad. Like this man makes like dirty jokes, blah blah blah." He's the work husband type shit, right? And then when it comes down to it, they're like, "Oh, I have a boyfriend to go see after this," and it's like, bro. Bro, what are you doing? Because look, we had the conversation before. If a woman is fully obsessed with you, she'll try to inject you into her veins, right? Yeah. And for her to be doing this, she's trying to have you as like a little back pocket. Like whenever I'm feeling upset with him, I can go talk to this man. Yeah. And you know, I'm sure to her, there's no intention of like dating you or fucking you or anything like that. You know what I mean? 100%. It's just a back pocket. If I want to feel good, I'm gonna go use this man. Yep. So like, I mean, it's in your best interest. One, like they say, don't shit where you eat. aka don't date coworkers. And two, just cut off the relationship. Yeah, she's cool and all, right? Like she probably flirts with you and shit like that, but there's no fucking reason to be friends with her. Like you can find a better male friend and just become that much more fulfilled in life not talking to her. You know what I mean?
100%.
Especially because it sounds like she's just trying to fucking use you as like a little back pocket. You know, whatever the case may be, like, oh, I'm upset with my boyfriend, you know, because she didn't even mention it before. You had to find out, and that's the thing where it's like, I mean, we've all like been there at some point where the moment you even look in a girl's direction, the first words out of her mouth is, I have a boyfriend, don't talk to me.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
and it's like
yeah.
she didn't hit you with that because she's trying to be sneaky in a way. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, I was gonna say the same thing. Is that you're just the back pocket guy? You know, you're the handgun to her AR. If I'm being honest with you, it's one of those things where it's just like she looks at it like she has categorized men. All right.
Yes,
This is the type of girl I think she is. She has very categorized men. She has a guy, you know, who helps her with X, Y, and Z. She has a guy that she can go and, you know, who's the emotional tampon. She has her boyfriend, and that's the guy that, you know, she gives like physicality and sex and stuff like that too, and physical intimacy. And you're kind of just the attention guy.
Yep.
You know, you're the guy that just fills in the attention, and she looks at it just like he said, you know, whenever like they're in turmoil or whatever, she just goes to you. And you're the guy to make the boyfriend jealous.
Yeah.
That's the fucked up part about it.
Yeah.
And honestly, bro, if I'm being real with you, okay, this is gonna be real misogynist to say, but it is what it is, and I'm gonna say it. Women are shitty friends. Okay, let's just be honest. Okay, women are shitty friends. When you're a guy, you get no inherent benefit being friends with a girl. You just don't. You really don't. It's why I believe that men and women cannot be friends, because the reason is the guy is always going to want sexual access at some point to that woman. There is never a platonic all the way through. Now, there's going to be some people in the comments talking about, oh, well, I have a female friend. Oh, I got a female friend. Yeah, because that's a very anomaly kind of thing. And I guarantee you, when you first started talking to that girl, you wanted to fuck her. But then I think you wisened up and got to a point where you realized you couldn't fuck her. And so then you, instead of kicking her out of your life, you just kind of buried her so deep in your life that you pretend that you think that you guys are platonic friends. When in reality, if she walked inside your room and was butt naked, you'd fuck that girl in an instant. Don't lie to me. You know that you would. Because I know I would. If I sat here and had a fucking female friend and she walked into my room butt ass naked, yeah, I'm fucking. It is what it is, bro. There is no such thing as male and female platonic relationships. There just aren't. And then on top of that, the thing is that woman is providing no value to you while you are providing all the value to her. She gets the boyfriend energy. She gets taken care of to some degree. And now people are going to argue, oh, but she was doing all these things for him. Yeah, but she was only doing those things to then get something in return. She was not doing them just out of the kindness of her heart. She's doing it to either keep him around, to kind of keep him on a leash, to make sure he won't go anywhere, to get, string him along just enough to keep him around. Like, I guarantee you there's been moments in their relationship where she won't text him for weeks, and then homeboy just comes into work and, you know, she's like, oh, hey, and he's like, hey, what's up? Because he's kind of over it. And then she'll do something like, oh, so, hey, boss, like, I would totally want to, like, get you a mug. Like, it seems like you need one. And then what does that do? Reignite his fire. And he's just like, oh, shit, okay, maybe those 5 weeks she didn't talk to me, it was just a fluke. It's okay, it's fine, like, I'm all good. She likes me again. And then you fall into this vicious cycle over and over and over again with this girl. And it's like, bro, as a guy, if I'm being honest with you, women are useless friends. There's nothing that they can't do for you that a male friend can. And if I'm being honest with you, a male friend will actually provide value back. The reason being is because men understand that in order for us to be friends and to be a part of a group or be a part of a friend group or something like that, we have to add value to that group. Yeah. Or else motherfuckers are going to sit there and they're going to look at you like, nah, man, like, you're fucking useless to the group. Like, we don't need you here, bro. You provide no value. You don't have anything smart to say. You don't have anything going on that, you know, can equal value exchange to us. Like, nah, we're good, bro. But for some reason, dudes just are like, Girls, oh, use the fuck out of me, please. Oh, I want it. And they don't realize, like, the girl's true intentions, like this guy is, as to where, like he said, it's just an attention thing. That's all it is. There's nothing more else to it. And that's why I'm like, bro, I'm being honest with you, man. Being friends with girls, it's a waste of time. It's a waste of time, my guy.
No, I mean, yeah, I couldn't have said it better myself, brother.
Right.
You know, it's one of those things where, like we said, she does little things to keep the maintenance up, so that way you keep returning on back. And you know, it's fucked up to say, right? It sounds fucked up. It sounds harsh.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, out of you, she gets, you know, extra boyfriend treatment. She gets attention. I'm sure, you know, if she has maintenance issues with her car, she needs something heavy moved, whatever the case may be, you're there for her,
Yeah,
right?
You're the dog wagging its tail. Ready to
Yeah,
go.
you're ready to go. And I mean, what do you really get out of the friendship at all, right? Like, she probably doesn't have more emotion than you. She can't help you with any maintenance. She can't, yeah, I mean, like,
she ain't paying for you when y'all go out.
Yeah.
She may do it once or twice, but up compared to all the other times that you've done it, it's like, come on, bro. Like,
Yeah.
Like, if you guys hung out 30 times, you paid 28 times out of the 30. Like, come on, bro. Like, and you're not getting no coochie out of this? Come on, man.
yeah, it's all carrot on the stick. You're
Yeah.
falling for it, and like I said, it's fucked up to say, but you just, I mean, like I said, just cut her off. You'll be fine. Find a
Yeah.
male friends
Yeah.
that do got more motion than you, and then that's where you step your money up. It's
Yeah,
fine.
Exactly, bro. Like I say, call me misogynist all you want, but that's the truth, bro. That's the truth. Hey, it is what it is, man. All right. On to our next one. Am I the asshole if I don't tell my husband his daughter isn't his?
How is that even a question?
That's crazy, son. All right, I-35 female, have the most amazing husband, 40 male. He has a 20-year-old daughter from a previous relationship. We have been together for 10 years, and he has made comments periodically that his daughter, let's call her Mary, may not be his. I sort of brushed the comments off, but knowing his ex, it wouldn't be a surprise if Mary had another bio dad. Mary also looks nothing like him, like not one similar trait. Fast forward to this past few months, we have been trying to get pregnant and started genetic testing as part of the IVF process. The results come back, and my husband is not a carrier of hemophilia, but Mary and her mother have it. From my understanding, both the father and mother must pass this gene in order for the child to be affected. I haven't said anything. I don't know if I should. He has been, he has been her dad for 20 years, whether Mary is biologically his or not. There would be nothing but possible heartbreak and anger to come out if I say anything, but should he know, would others want to know? I'm torn. So should I tell my husband that his daughter isn't his? So I think the whole hemophobia thing, she probably found that out on her own.
Yeah.
And is wondering, like, yo, this is confirmation that, like, you don't have this. She does. Both parents need to have it in order for her to have it. Like, should I say something? I think no.
No.
I think no. Don't just let it be what it gonna be. You know what I mean? It's one of those things where, like, you're holding a fragile Fabergé egg, and the moment that you say something, it's like cracks immediately show. You know what I mean? I feel like the daughter's gonna resent him, and then he's gonna resent you because the daughter resents him, and that's just gonna be. Yeah, it's gonna fuck you up. It's gonna fuck you up big time. Your relationship's probably not gonna be the same. You guys probably won't be able to really look at your family the same, and there's just going to be a lot of resentment there, man, because the daughter's going to feel she's going to feel some way about it. Why? Because she's going to want to know her real dad. She's like, what the fuck? Because she's going to feel like her dad was the one who kept this away from her. She's going to be like, Dad, why didn't you tell me this? Why didn't you let? And the dad's going to be like, what do you mean? Like, I didn't even know. And she's just like, no, you had to have known. Like, what the fuck is, you know what I mean? Like, she's going to resent him, and then he's going to resent you because she resents him. I'm telling you, don't say nothing. Just let it be what it's gonna be, and it is what it is. She's an adult, you know. let her live her life thinking her dad is who he is. And just let it be, man. And now if the bio dad come out of nowhere talking about, hey, it's me, then that's a whole nother can of worms. I play dumb at that point and be like, whoa, wait, hold on, what's going on here? What? So, yeah. Play dumb if the real bio dad just spawns out of nowhere. But if he doesn't, hey, keep it what it is, and it's gonna be what it's gonna be.
I would disagree with that. It just depends, right?
Okay.
It depends on how much you yourself hold the idea of the truth in your mind, where it's like, if the truth is always something that you should strive for in your mind, right, then I would say tell him, right? What you're talking about with like the whole like cracked egg and like she'll resent him because of X, Y, and Z. I think that's just the emotional immaturity of wanting control over things that are out of your control. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like she was born out of her control, right? Like obviously she wasn't asked to be born. She's here. I'm sure she loves her dad. He loves her, right? I feel like as a man, you should hear that information and be like, okay, I don't give a fuck. Because there's plenty of people that adopt and they're like, this is my son, this is my daughter. You know what I mean? Like they're not gonna be like, well, you know what? Like I'm gonna adopt this child and I'm not gonna really love them because they're not even really biologically related to me. You know what I mean? That to me is like, you're immature if you think that way, where it's like, this kid's not mine. I have no connection. I can't love this kid. I can't nurture this kid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there's a lot of talk where like people are like, fuck having stepkids, like don't marry a single mom or a single dad or whatever, because that's baggage, blah blah blah. But it's like, if you're really a true leader or a true person to follow, like it shouldn't matter where you go, who you're around, that type of stuff. What you should be able to do is handle information like that and still push on as if it doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, right, you went all these 20 years, and if they're not biologically related, it didn't change anything. Like the relationship wasn't more authentic because they were biological or they thought they were biologically related. Like it was authentic because he showed up, he loved her, she loved him, and they were happy as father and daughter. You know what I mean? So I would ease into it though. I wouldn't just be like, yeah, your kid's not yours. Dumbass, you didn't fucking know. Like I would like, hey, like you make jokes. Are you actually curious? Or like, would that be something you wouldn't want to know? You know what I mean? Yeah. And then if he's like, oh, like, I mean, I think I'd be open to it. It's like, well, I did some digging. Or if he's like, no, I would hate that information. It's like, well, okay, then, then you just leave it. You know what I mean?
It does come up. It like, obviously we don't know how he is and stuff. But my thing is, it comes from like the daughter.
Right.
You know what I mean? I think she would feel a little lied to her, like from her parents.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like she feels like, what the hell? My parents are people that I trust the most.
Yeah.
And then finding out that that's not my dad, I feel lied to for this longest time. And I think that's why I say it's the whole thing of like, she's going to resent the dad because she's going to feel lied to. The dad's going to be like, yo, what the hell? Like, why does she feel this way towards me when, he could have that mindset of like, I don't care if you're my daughter or not. I still love you. But I think the point of contingency comes with the daughter. And I think the daughter's going to feel lied to. And it's going to, that's the monkey wrench that's going to get thrown in there, where it's just going to like fuck everything up and the relationships are not going to be what they used to be or what they are now, if anything. And so that's why I was saying that, because I agree with you 100%. Like, whether they're biological or not, he's probably going to look at it like, I don't give a fuck, that's my daughter.
Yeah.
I love her regardless. I've loved her for 20 years and I'm going to love her for 20 years more. And it is what it is. I think he's definitely going to look at it that way 100%. I just don't know how the daughter's going to look at it. I just feel like the daughter is going to be the one that's going to be like, wow, I feel fucking lied to. Like,
but if anything, it's the mother's doing. You know what I mean? Like,
100%.
Like, it's not like she like the mother was like, all right, yeah, you're not the dad, but act like the dad the whole time, and you know, it'll all be on you if she finds out. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
she was the one that got cracked by someone else, and you know, had the baby and was like, it's yours, definitely. Please don't investigate or think about it at all. You know. And then, especially with the idea that like my firstborn looks just like me, and it's a very, I think it's a very common thing for the firstborns to look just like their dads.
I do too.
So for them to not look similar, he probably has like inclinations, but he doesn't care. And so she should take the information, and if she's gonna harbor some anger towards the mom, go ahead, have it towards the mom, but the dad shouldn't really matter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But either way, you know, I feel like that's just a conversation to them for them to have.
Yeah.
And like I said, it in her mind, she just feels like she has like this resentment. It's probably going to be this resentment of lack of control of knowing that information, but it's like it doesn't change really anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You just know, and then you keep moving on with life. You can still be happy, healthy, and have a good relationship. You know,
Yeah.
but the mom is. If it's true that, you know, she lied or whatever, then like the mom is a piece of shit, and that makes sense to why they're not together.
Yeah, 1,000%. I think the mom is, and I think that's kind of the reason why they're not together.
Yeah.
Is because he probably found out about this infidelity, I think, after they had a kid.
Yeah.
And then he just thought, oh, you're just cheating on me, not that you had a kid
Kid,
with this motherfucker.
yeah.
And so that's probably why they're not together. I think in this situation, the mom is already kind of like out of the picture. I think he probably has
that makes
custody,
sense.
just because she mentioned that they live together, like
Yeah.
they all live in the same house. So I'm thinking, you know, the dad probably has full custody of the kids and stuff.
Yeah.
And so, but the only reason I say that she would get mad at the dad is just because she's closest to him.
Yeah, that makes
You know
sense.
what I mean? Yeah, I think she already has baseline resentment from the mom, just from the cheating.
Yeah.
You know, like if you see like your mom is cheating on your dad, like you're going to have base resentment regardless. Even if it's the other way around. If your dad cheated on your mom, you're going to have that base resentment for your dad. That's why I didn't really tie the mom into it. I'm like, I think the daughter already is like, yo, fuck moms. You know, that's a bitch anyway.
Right.
But I think with the dad, there's this whole other level of trust. Like, you know, you're the person I trust the most. And then this comes out and it's like, holy shit, it might get her thinking a little bit. But I mean, with her being an adult, I would hope that she would kind of be like, okay, you know what? My dad looks at it like he still loves me regardless,
Right.
You know? So let's move on and whatever. But she's a 20-year-old girl, man. Like, you never
Yeah,
know.
that is true.
You know,
That is
she'll
true.
let
You'll
her
never know.
emotions, you know, take her and lead her all the way. And it's a tough situation. And that's why I kind of gave the advice of just like, don't even open the can of worms, and we won't have to deal with any of the possibilities of, you know, her getting upset, her being okay with it. Like, it's a 50-50 toss-up. If you want to take that 50-50 toss-up, go with my boy's advice.
Right.
Tell her the truth, you know, be honest. But if you don't want to deal with that 50-50 toss-up and you kind of just want to keep trucking along and letting everything go the way it's going to go, crumple that paper up and just let it be what it's going to be.
Yeah,
You
that's
know?
why I said, you know, it depends on how much you guys value like knowing the truth. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
If he's
yeah,
like,
truth
I don't give,
itself, yeah.
if I don't give a fuck about that, like those kind of truths, then like, you know, leave it alone. You're not really an asshole, right? It's just one of those things where you got to weigh it morally, and then if that's what you guys hold high in regards, then go ahead and move forward with the yes. But if not, like he said, you know, it definitely makes things a lot simpler, a lot smoother, just to, you know, let it be what it is.
Yeah. All right, that was a good one though.
That was
a really good one. You guys let us know what you think in the comments. Do you agree with Michael? Do you agree with me? Like, don't worry, I won't be upset if you agree with him. It's all right, you know. All right, on to our next one. Am I overreacting? Asking my friends to stop meeting up with her ex's dad.
Huh?
Yeah, right. I know, huh? Okay, my friend, 19 female, had a boyfriend, 21 male, and he cheated on her. She was really in love with him. He took her to dates, asked her to come to meet his family, vacation together, but he cheated and broke up with her. Now, she formulated a plan to get back at him. And that plan was to get with his father, 53 male. I don't know the specifics of how it happened, but it did. Imagine my shock when I found out when what was supposed to be a get back turned into an entirely different thing.
Holy shit.
Yo.
She belongs to the streets.
All right. The father and her sneaks out together and would go to hotels, motels, and do it. While his wife and kids sit at home unknowingly. I keep telling her to stop meeting with him, but she won't listen. And I also found out that he gives her money and an allowance, which is also why she wouldn't leave. But she tells me she loves him and they have a great time together. Now I kind of threatened her that I would tell the wife if she doesn't stop. And she said I was overreacting and became annoying, inserting myself into relationships that aren't mine. I backed off and let her be, but as a friend, I just can't let her do stupid shit, knowing the consequences would be dire. Their families know each other, so am I overreacting? Woo!
That one is a good one. Holy shit.
Amen.
God damn. Yeah. I mean, just from the jump, right? That's not friends you want to have.
100%.
That's not a friend you want to have. You should not keep her around.
Yeah.
You should tell the wife and stop and cut off contact with this chick. She's 19, so this kind of behavior actually makes sense.
Yeah.
She's being irrational.
And she's
like,
getting paid.
like, what are you in college? Like, what are you doing? Why do you have so much free time to go fuck someone's dad?
Man.
Like, what are you doing? Like, you don't got ambitions or something? Like, you're out here fucking dads and shit? Like, I get it. You're upset that he cheated on you, but there's better things to do than a get back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially because you're not doing, like, a get back and leave. You're now in this entanglement. And it's like, this guy's 50-something years old, probably married for decades at this point.
100%.
Decades, and you're willingly fucking this man. I wouldn't say you're ruining their relationship because that man made his choices.
100%.
It's his fault.
Yeah, he has equal play in this.
Especially because now not only is you're taking time and energy away from his family because he's allowing it, you're also taking money from this family where they could be spending it on whatever the case may be for their family. So you don't need a friend that's doing all this to a family. Like,
100%.
tell the wife, get them the fuck separated and cut her off, bro, because who's to say you don't piss her off and she does some shit where, like, I'm gonna fuck your man.
Exactly.
I like to fuck dads. What if she fucks your dad? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
No,
hey, look, I'm getting speculative here, but, like, at the same time, you know what I mean? Like, if she's doing this shit to get back at her boyfriend or whatever, her ex-boyfriend, like, she's not a friend you need to have around. You got better things to do. She has better things to do. She needs to grow the fuck up. You got to grow the fuck up and do better things with your life. You know what I mean?
You really do. And okay, I'm not even going to be on the side of, like, nah, girl, don't say anything, this and that. Nah, bro. I am fully 100 agree. Yeah, you need to fucking tell the wife and get this broken up. And then you need to stop being her friend.
Facts.
Being her friend is only going to be destructive for you.
Yes.
I mean, I have nothing really to add. All I'm going to be doing is reiterating what he said. Hey, masterclass. I'm being real with you. That was perfect because you hit the nail on the head where it's just like, she might fuck your boyfriend. She might fuck your dad. Like, bro.
Yeah.
Let her be a hoe and do that, but don't let it be in the eyes of infidelity.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
facts.
If you want to be a hoe, it's like, bro, go do that with single guys. You know what I mean? Go do that with dudes who don't have wives and kids, and you know what I mean? They're fucking up a family and stuff like that. But yeah, I 1000% agree.
Yeah.
I ain't got nothing else to add. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, and the dude deserves it. He's 50-3, and he's just like, yeah, you know what, dude? Fuck my family, dude.
But low key though, Mans is winning. All right, like to be 50 years old, fucking on a 19, you kind of winning, bro.
But okay, so that's pretty accurate. That is pretty accurate. I will say that definitely. that I couldn't consider that too bad from his perspective.
Yeah.
However, he did not intentionally pull a 19-year-old. She had ulterior motives. She sought him out as a pawn. You know what I mean?
True. I feel you on that.
So it would have been a little bit different if he pulled, but like at the same time, it's not because he pulled. She had the fucking
Okay. I gave him too much credit.
Yeah, so
I gave him too much credit.
you know what I mean? It was kind of like a lob, a gimme type shit. So
okay.
at the end of the day, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I know from his perspective, he's like, damn, I'm in there, I'm doing good. But at the same time, like she was just using him, and then it kind of just became an entanglement, and
No, I feel it. But hey, I at the same time, like I said, I get it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. I'd have been like, fuck my wife. That's horrible.
Oh my god.
Bro, being 50 and you probably been married to the same woman for 20 plus years, bro. This 19-year-old girl come out of nowhere talking about, yeah, I want to fuck. Hell yeah. You be like, yeah, girl, get that ass over here. I'm just saying, bro. Oh, shit. I am horrible. Don't listen to me. Oh, jeez. All right, let's get on to the next one, man. Am I wrong to consider leaving my terminally ill fiance?
Ooh,
Okay. I'm 24 female, and I've been engaged to a man that I started dating a year ago. He's also 44 and is divorced with 2 children from a previous marriage that he was taking care of with almost no help from their mother. That was one of the things that really impressed me about him, since I don't meet too many responsible single fathers. He was also very good to me when most men that I've dated in my younger years wasn't. Including the first man I was engaged to broke up with me because his parents were racist and wanted him to marry a white girl. I'm Asian. My new fiance is Hispanic, and I was so happy that he asked me to marry him. Even though we are both in our mid-40s now, I had still hoped that we would have at least 20 to 30 more years together once we were married. Until he spoke to me this morning and told me that his condition was pulmonary fibrosis. Was progressing, which will require him to have a transplant. He said that even the treatment in his condition was lethal, and he will have 7 to 10 years at most to live. I was concerned for him, but also really upset because if I married my fiance, I will most likely be widowed by the time I'm in my mid-50s, maybe even sooner. I may end up living another 25 to 30 years after he's gone. I would accept this if I had already been married to him for 20 plus years and was a mother of his children, but I'm not. I can't say my fiance didn't tell me either. He did mention his condition a bit when I noticed he snored loudly at night due to difficulties breathing, but he didn't do much, or he didn't go much into detail, and I didn't want to intrude on his privacy by asking him. Now I am starting to wish I had at least looked into pulmonary fibrosis on my own, so I would have had a better idea of what our future might be like if I married him. Now I am unsure as to what to do. I still love my fiance, but how can I invest my life into someone who only has 7 to 10 years at most to live? I could end up living another 30 years as a widow after his death when I already had so little my entire life. Even before my current engagement, another thing that bothers me is how early he asked me to marry him in our relationship. And now I'm starting to wonder if he wanted a caretaker, not just for him, but also for his daughter who suffers from depression and suicidal thoughts. I'm not sure if it would be better to leave my fiance and save myself a lot of grief and possibly a brief marriage, taking care of him and his daughter after he's gone, or marry him and that advances in medical technology years down the line will extend his life.
Okay.
That's a tough one, girl.
I wanna hear from what you have to say, because I have 2 opposing thoughts. And, yeah.
My thing is, all right, I dated somebody who's chronically ill. All right. I was engaged to a woman who's chronically ill. Now, look, she wasn't on death's door or anything, like as far as, she only had 7 to 10 years to live. It wasn't anything like that. But we were dealing with her having an illness that made it to where, she had POTS. Okay. And POTS syndrome is pretty much a thing where, the blood circulating to your brain is not consistent, okay? And so sometimes when that inconsistency in blood to the brain is lower, then they start to feel dizzy and they tend to pass out sometimes. She had a really hard time working, and I had to deal with that a lot of times where I would have to literally leave work, go home, pick her up, take her to the hospital kind of thing because nobody could. And so there were times where, you know, we dealt with a lot of turmoil, we dealt with a lot of issues, and I even came to the crossroads of like, fuck, do I want to marry a woman who has a chronic illness like this? And you do get to that point where you think about that. You're just like, fuck, am I going to deal with this for the rest of my life? Is this somebody I want to spend the rest of my life with? And for me personally, I came to the conclusion of, you know what? This isn't going to be easy. This is going to be extremely difficult. It's going to be really hard. But you know what? I love her more than I hate the idea of, you know, being her caretaker, taking her, you know, to the hospital almost every day, dealing with her passing out, you know, making sure like things are in play, this and stuff like that. So it's definitely a difficult situation and a hard decision to make, but it is the decision you can make. If I'm being honest with you, I don't think it's an impossible decision. And look, I'm not saying just because I chose to stay that you should stay. You gotta weigh your options out and feel out what is best for you. I think that you can continue to love him, but understand that this is not for you. But at the same time, I also think that if you do love him and you do care about him, you'll make the most of those 7 to 10 years. You're going to make the most of them by doing everything possible to make sure that you guys experience as much, do as much, see as much, and everything. Like, I just think, yeah, it's going to be on a shorter timeline, but it is going to be that kind of push for you to do the most when the time is at its least. And then afterwards, yeah, you are going to be a widow, you know, and you're going to have to take on the responsibility of his kids and stuff like that. But I think at the same time, you might get some kind of fulfillment out of that. You know what I mean? It's a thing where it would help you move forward because you look at it like, I see a lot of him in his daughters, and that kind of helps you feel like he's still there, you know, and it gives you kind of that purpose. Yeah, you're a widow, but you are not out in the world trying to find this purpose and trying to figure out what you want to do with your life and where you want to go. It kind of just gives you that immediate purpose of like, no, you know what I mean? Like, I want to take care of his kids and I want to be there because, you know, I've been doing this for the last, 10 years, let's say. And you see a lot of him and them, and it just keeps you going. It keeps you going. But that's just me.
So yeah, I think that's pretty close to one of the standpoints I had in this scenario.
Yeah.
My thing was, I was going back and forth in my head, and I couldn't really pick a side necessarily because as a man, it's different than as a woman.
100%. Yeah.
I hear where she's coming from because in her mind, and it's in the idea of a lot of women and men's mind where time is not on a woman's side because they, age, they lose fertility, all this kind of things, right?
Yeah.
And so I see where she's coming from, where she's thinking about herself. Now, the thing that's like bugging me is like the fact that you took the vows of in sickness and in health. You know what I mean?
Engaged. They're not married.
Oh, they're not married.
No, they're just engaged. Yeah, they've been together for a year and they're now engaged.
Oh, I'm tripping. I could have
okay.
swore that she said she was married.
No. She looks at it like, am I gonna continue this relationship and marry him? And then in 10 years, he'll die and I'll be a widow and I'll take care of his kids? Or am I just going to break the engagement off and let him, do what he's going to do and I'm going to go and find a guy and so on and so forth? That's kind of her dilemma here. Yeah. They're not married yet.
Yeah, then in my eyes, I would say get the fuck out of there. I'll be honest.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
because like you said, time is not really on your side.
Mm-hmm.
He asked you really early on to get married. It does, in your mind, there's inclinations that he wanted you to be a caregiver for his daughter and you and him. And so I mean, by no means are you obligated to do that for anyone. You know what I mean?
100%.
So at the end of the day, right? Because you're not married, right? I thought you were already married. That's why I said that.
Yeah.
Because you're not married, I'd say get the fuck out of there. You know what I mean? It's pretty fucked up, right? But at the same time,
We keep it under PO.
yeah, we keep it 100% here.
We do. Hey.
He shouldn't have gotten into a relationship with the idea of like, I'm gonna provide with as much as I can. I'm not gonna get in this relationship and let this terminal illness set me back where I'm gonna rely on her to be like this caregiver. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He should have things in place where like him being this disabled, it should not affect your guys' relationship. You know what I mean? In the case where like now it looks like it's supposed to be that, and he's trying to use you as, you know, a caregiver, that's pretty fucked up to you. I'm not gonna lie, especially when like we talk about, there's time is not necessarily on your side because you have no kids together. You haven't been in a relationship that long, and so. What I was gonna get at with like you being married is like, do you want to be there to be the person that like cares for him the most in his, you know, ending fleeting life where he's no longer gonna be around? But you know, that's still an option. 100%, that's still an option if you want to be that caring, that individual where like he only has 7 to 10 years left. You could be like my boy here said, that person that makes sure that those are fruitful years for him and his daughters will have an absolutely amazing role model to follow up after, where they don't necessarily need to follow exactly in your footsteps, but they understand what a caring partner looks like, and they can emulate that for anyone in their life that they have they choose to get into a relationship with. But my honest opinion is you guys aren't married. There's no reason to obligate yourself to this man for the next 7 to 10 years, then be widowed, then have whatever health issues you have going through, right?
Yeah, when she gets older, huh?
Yeah, especially when right now you still have your fertility, your youth, stuff like that. You know, it's pretty. It can sound fucked up, but you know, find a man that will provide for you and is healthy and can give you the life that you want. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I 100% agree. That's why I kind of figured you were going to give that side of it, and that's why I decided to give the side I gave.
Yeah.
Because it's a thing where it's like there is a road where you do choose to stay with him because you love him and because you care about him, and you know that's what it would look like. It's a thing where you, in these next 10 years, you guys would get married and you would do everything possible to make it the most amazing 10 years, and then after he's gone, you would you know, take care of the kids, and it's a thing where, you know, you're not walking around aimlessly looking for purpose because you're a widow. No, you have that. You have the daughter, and you know, again, the daughter will feel like you still have him around to some degree. But hey, either way that you go, I wouldn't fault you if you stayed or if you left, because again, like he said, you still have some time. You're only 44, so you got some time to, you know, figure some shit out and get back in there. But, you know, and then you're Asian. You probably still look young. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, you probably still look young. So, all right, do what you're going to do with that. You guys let us know what you think about it in the comments, because that's a
juicy one.
You guys have been giving us some tough ones today, man. Goodness. Yeah. All right, on to our next one. 18 female. I think I've cheated on my boyfriend. So in context, my boyfriend fucked my now ex-best friend, and so I called my teacher that always offered to take my V and accepted the offer, and we went to a motel. Bruh.
Here we go again.
That's crazy, bro. Okay. I never cheated on my boyfriend with the teacher before this time, but he says because we technically never officially broke up, I've technically cheated, and now I don't know how to feel as it was my first relationship. Does anybody have advice on what I should do? Bro.
So I kind of am like having a hard time. What did he do again?
So he cheated on her with her best friend.
Yeah.
So her top dog day one homegirl, they had sex with her boyfriend. So then she thought, oh, since my boyfriend want to fuck my best friend, I'm going to call this teacher I guess this teacher has been, hey, Susie, you got a fat ass, whatever. I'll be at the park tomorrow. I don't know. However, teachers, do this without getting fired. She calls this teacher and is like, hey, so you said you wanted to take my V card. Like, now's your opportunity. She goes to the motel with this fucking teacher. I'm assuming they did the do. Homie found out and was just like, you fucking cheated on me. And she's like, no, I didn't, because we were broken up. And he's like, I never officially broke up with you. I just had sex with your friend.
So, yeah, okay. Couple of things. She didn't really specify, right? But I don't assume it's a college professor, right?
I would hope it's a college professor.
Because now
I'm not thinking this is high school.
Because I'm getting a little worried. I'm like, did he pre-order?
That's what I'm thinking, bro.
Did he? Was he like what was that conversation like? This man was like, you know what, Susie, stay after class really quick.
That's what I'm thinking. He was like, hey, Susie with the fat ass, I'm gonna be at the park tomorrow. Like,
he said, once you graduate after this, you're a virgin, right? Oh yeah, okay. If you ever need someone to take your virginity, hit me up in a couple years. Well, I'll do it. Yeah, I'm pre-ordering right now. I'm putting my $5 down at GameStop, and I'm pre-ordering. Me. Here's my number. That's my $5. If you ever get in a situation, go ahead, hit me up. Now I'm pre-ordered, dude. I'm getting the exclusive. Content.
Shit, bro.
And so, I mean,
oh fuck.
I guess technically, first of all, the boyfriend is fucking stupid, bro. Like, yeah, of course he's like, oh, we technically never broke up. That's some gaslighter ass shit
100%.
I've ever fucking heard. Man,
bro.
we never technically broke up, so you cheated. I win, dude. Like, no.
Yeah,
what the fuck?
Yeah, like, what are you doing, bro?
What are you doing? And then for this man to be like, you technically cheated. Yay, I win. I'm in the moral high ground. Like, what the fuck, bro? You fucked her best friend. Was in anywhere in the relationship, did you guys say, like, yeah, it's absolutely fine, we're in an open relationship, fuck whoever you want?
I guarantee they didn't.
Probably not.
I guarantee they did.
So what was this man thinking? Like, oh, yeah, you know what, dude? Fuck Susie's best friend. We should be fine. Everything's great. Well, now you cheated, dude. You cheated.
Yeah. I think it was a thing where the best... Okay, I think... He started liking the girl that wrote in, right?
Yeah.
We're calling her Susie or whatever.
Yeah.
He likes Susie. And then Susie's friend is just like, I've always liked you, but, you chose Susie, so it is what it is. And I think Mans was like, I got an idea. Hung out with Susie's friend on the low and was just like, yeah, you was telling me that, you liked me, this and that. Like, let's have a little something on the side. You know what I mean? And then that happened. And I guarantee you, Susie's friend was, probably feeling a little boastful and being like, yeah, that's why I fucked your man. And she was like, oh, for real now? Okay. I will, Mr. Martinez over there, he straight put $5 down at the GameStop for this coochie.
Yeah.
So I'm about to go get me some over there. So yeah, look, bro.
Yeah.
You cheated on your boyfriend. Like, if I'm being honest with you, he's gaslighting you into being the victim. Yes. But you guys both cheated. Let's be honest here. Let's call it what it is. He cheated first. You cheated in retaliation. All right.
Yeah.
You guys are 1 for 1.
Yeah.
Now, if you guys get back together, it is what it is, bro. You're dumb for doing that, but I already know you motherfuckers be doing dumb shit like that.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. To the question, did she cheat on her boyfriend? Yes, you did. He cheated on you, and you cheated on him. But why with a teacher, though?
Yeah. Teacher that pre-order.
That's the crazy part, man. And then on top of that, he took your virginity, too. Like, bro, like, that's how you wanted to lose your virginity? To a fucking teacher over some tit for tat shit, bro.
Yeah, that's wild work. And that's what I'm getting at too, is like so he cheated first, right? I don't assume that you said your boyfriend, so that clearly means in your mind you're still using that label because your guys are still together. Yeah. So I agree, you cheated on each other, right? However, like you said, the score is 1 for 1. if you guys want to move past that, then that's fucking fine. He clearly is like, yeah, I fucked someone else. We're still together. So, of course, it could be the same for you. You fucked someone else. You guys are still together. I am still curious as to this whole pre-order bullshit because that teacher probably should be
bro.
fired, dude.
Yeah, like hold up, man.
If he pre-ordered you, how many $5 bills do you think he has?
Facts.
This man was pre-ordering, brother.
I'm
Definitely.
telling you, bro probably has a whole fucking
roster.
attendance
Yeah.
of pre-orders.
Yeah.
Man. Hey.
And now in his mind, he has this reinforced where he's like, it worked with Susie. I'm pre-ordering.
Yeah,
I'm pre-ordering.
It's gonna work with Caitlyn.
Yep.
It's gonna work with Samantha.
Yeah.
It's gonna work with like, bro.
Yeah.
Hey, man.
Because you don't need to do the whole tit for tat shit,
No,
right?
no,
like,
no,
you just
no.
No. them,
No.
go with someone else. Don't
Not your teacher.
fuck a teacher that pre-ordered you. Don't fuck a teacher that pre-ordered you. And find a boyfriend that actually loves you, respects you, and does, you know what I mean? It sounds like they're just both young, you know what I mean? Like, they're doing dumb young shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like that, it is what it is, right? If you want to just keep practicing on this man, then like what you really want in life, then that's cool, right? It's all about learning. But my advice to you is, yeah, you guys did cheat on each other 1-1. The score is still even. You know what I mean? It was 0-0 at first. Now it's 1-1. You guys can still stay together if you want, but I wouldn't advise that.
Facts.
But yeah, no more of this teacher pre-order bullshit, bro.
Yeah,
Like,
bro,
that's
crazy,
crazy
man.
work that you let that happen.
That's
You
wild.
let that happen.
Oh, bro, that $5 at GameStop took me out. Oh, shit. All right. You guys let us know what you think about that one in the comments. That's a crazy scenario. Fuck. All right. On to our next one. What do I do? Do I text the boyfriend of the girl I've been with? That's crazy. Okay. So me and this girl have been hooking up for like a month and a half. And I discovered that she had a boyfriend like 2 weeks into this. And I decided not to say anything. But now my conscience has gotten the better of me, and I'm debating on telling the boyfriend. I feel bad because I let it continue even though I knew about him. Shit.
Yeah, I mean that I feel like it's straightforward. You know what I mean? Your conscience is telling you because morally you fucking hold the truth in a high standard, so that's why it's bugging you. But your monkey brain is like, I'm trying to fucking bust nuts.
100%.
And so you're letting
Deep
that
inside.
cloud your fucking judgment.
Yeah.
But it's like, if you had a girlfriend and you were, listen, Scheisse.
No, you're good.
I've heard plenty of stories of, look, you don't want to be the dude where you don't say anything and you have a girlfriend, she gets busted inside, you go down on her and you're like, damn, baby, you extra wet today. You know what I mean? Like, you don't want to be one of those stories.
Facts.
So don't be
Facts.
the person that's doing it to another man. You got to tell the dude, like, hey, I didn't know. Completely, I did let it happen for a little bit because that shit was fat or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to be a better man, bro. You gotta leave her. You know what I mean? Because who knows if she fucking sucked my dick and kissed you on the mouth. You know what I mean? Some shit like that.
100%.
Yeah, and that's just one of those things where, like I said, your conscience is telling you you value the truth wholeheartedly. That's why you feel bad. Mm-hmm. You can always find another lady to fucking nut inside. You know what I mean? So don't worry about the monkey brain part. Worry about the morals, because how you get her is how you're gonna lose her. The exact same way with like karma. You know, what goes around comes around. You hide this, it's gonna happen to you, where someone's hiding it from you. So
or even like the thread. You know, you over here sit there thinking, oh, that could never be me.
Yes,
and then
yes.
it becomes you.
It becomes you.
Yeah,
yes.
bro. Like, okay, I 100% agree with him. And, you know, I'm also going to just add on to it. It's one of those things where I've said this so many times on the podcast. People who've been around for a while, they know I'm not dying over some coochie, bro.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where if you don't tell him and he finds out, mans might try to shoot you.
Yes.
Mans might try to end your life over this.
Yes.
You don't know how this guy's going to act, and you want to be in a situation where you're able to kind of control the outcome.
Yeah.
And if you are the one that tells him and be like, hey, bro, dude, I gotta talk to you about your girl, man. You know what I mean? Her and I been fucking around and this and that. She told me she was single, this and that. Homie's gonna be like, no, fuck, are you serious?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, bro, serious. But if he finds out,
Yeah.
and then it's gonna be a thing where he's gonna be like, click, clack, bang, I want to kill this dude.
Yeah.
Like, fuck the dude. And so, again, I would never put myself in a position where I'm dying. I can possibly die over some coochie, bro.
Yeah.
There's so many girls out in the world to where I'm not dying over one of them.
Yep.
It's not happening. If you got a boyfriend, cool, peace, and chicken grease,
Yeah.
baby girl.
Yeah.
I'm about this camp because I'm gonna tell you this now, man. You need to control that outcome. You need to go to him and be like, hey, bro, she told me that she was single and doing da. I just stepped up on the scene. It was my turn. I thought, she was just a hoe out having a good time. I didn't know she had you, bro.
Yeah.
We got to set her up. Set her up to let her know that we know and all that kind of stuff. Post it on TikTok, whatever.
Yeah.
But again, it's one of those things where it's just like, I'm not dying over a girl, bro. So you need to tell her the truth because you don't know how this guy's going to act. He's going to try to, do some crazy shit, this and that. Like, motherfuckers go crazy over some coochie, man. It's wildness.
Because, that's a great point. You never know, right? You continue this stuff, right? You're like, you're having a good time, all that type of stuff. He gets suspicious. He goes to class selection, picks out a beautiful AA-12, right? He throws the extended mag on it, right? He goes to Perks. He picks double tap, right? And he's ready. He follows her one day and switches you guys both the fuck down.
Yup.
And at that point, it's definitely not going to be worth it. You know what I mean?
Nah.
Yeah, if he shows up, switches you guys the fuck down, it's definitely not going to be worth it, right? It's better just to let him know, like, dude, you leave her. We'll set her up, whatever the case may be, to expose her, so that way you get your revenge in that sense. Mm-hmm. I didn't know, and so that's why I had to fight over it a little bit, like morally, but I came to you because you deserve to know.
Yeah.
And then from there, he's got to respect it. And from there, you guys can just move on, get different coochie, whatever the case may be.
You might even make a friend out of this
Yeah,
shit. I ain't gonna lie to you.
yeah.
Y'all might be even homies. Like, man, fuck this bitch. Let's go get some bitches at the bar. Like, you might make a lifetime friend out of this shit. You never know, bro. But like we said, coming at it from that angle is gonna be good.
Yeah.
Because you ain't risking your life, bro, over a
Facts.
girl.
That's facts.
All right, let's get on to our next one. You guys let us know what you think about that one in the comments. All right, am I overreacting? Boyfriend went through my phone while I was throwing up. All right. Last night, me and my long-distance boyfriend went out because he was visiting me for a week, and I drank a little too much and had to go home and throw up. It wasn't enough to black out, but I was sick. He told me while I was throwing up that I had locked myself out of my phone for 10 minutes and that I needed the passcode for something, or that he needed the passcode, for something when it could unlock. Turns out he was the one who had tried passcodes too many times and was lying to me so he could get into my phone and look through it. I was unaware of what was happening because I was still throwing up. He looked through it and found nothing except my hidden folder that I haven't looked at since we were dating, or even long before that, and it had some NSFW content, some BBWs in there, you know what I mean? Yeah, well, it's BBCs. He stormed into the room, threw the phone on the bed with me, and told me that he's leaving and finding somewhere else to stay while he's here. Probably at one of my many friends I had introduced him to. I told him that I hadn't looked at that folder in forever and that I would get rid of it. I also told him that I felt awkward that he had lied and manipulated the situation with me. Am I overreacting and feeling uncomfortable and deceived? Or am I overreacting that my boyfriend went through my phone?
Yeah, no, I would say no. It's one of those things where you look at it from multiple different lights. However, for him to not trust you, we say it all the time, he's probably projecting. He probably was looking for an excuse to be like, oh, you know what, dude? Like, I secretly got some shit going on. I wonder if she do. And then he dug deep in there. It was like, I got to go through everything, make sure everything's there, right?
Found nothing.
Found nothing. He probably found the secure folder of those pictures that were from long before y'all two.
Exactly.
Saw the date on the photo and was like, I'm still using this.
Yeah.
And then fucking was like, yeah, I have an excuse now. Now I can go. He probably went out to go cheat or some shit and was like, you know what, dude? Like, this is my excuse to get revenge and fucking. To keep it like simple, like not to get speculative. They say if you need to go through your partner's phone, there's a trust issue already, and I don't think it's on you. I think it's on him, for him to not have a mature conversation about like, hey, I'm feeling, some type of way about, our relationship. Is there anything you need to really tell me? He's got to have more proof than just like, I'll dig through her phone until I find something.
Yeah,
because
there's a BBC picture from like 3-4 years ago, and
yeah,
it's like, oh, come on. Yeah, my thing is, I've said this a lot on the podcast before, is that if you feel the need to micromanage your partner, then obviously that's not the person you should be with.
Right.
There should never be a point in your relationship where you feel like you have to micromanage your partner. You have to know exactly what they're doing all the time. You need their location, and you need all this stuff. Like, that right there is only going to create more doubt. It's only going to create more problems. And honestly, you're not even going to really want to enjoy the relationship because you're too busy thinking about the shit that they're not doing.
Right.
You know? And so, again, like Michael said, bro, you need to be... for him, he was in a situation where he just couldn't have an adult conversation. Either that, or he could have been doing something else. It was a thing where before coming out to meet you guys and stuff like that, wherever he lived, because she did say it was a long distance relationship. So wherever he's at, he probably copped a feel on a titty or some shit, or, got drunk and made out with some girl and thought to himself, fuck, like, I can't come clean about this, but if she's got some stuff going on, then I can come clean about it and not feel as bad. Right. Or, maybe I can be like, okay, well, at least she's doing a little funny business too. It is what it is. But just in that's the type of guy that you really don't want to be in a relationship with.
Yeah.
If I'm being real with you. I mean, the fact that you kind of sat there and compromised with him, I get it. That's great that you wanted to compromise and, I'll delete it and that stuff. But you shouldn't have had to do that. Especially for some old pictures. And he shouldn't have freaked out with the old pictures. It should have, like he said, he used them as an excuse. And that's crazy to use them as an excuse. Knowing that, the date of these pictures were forever ago. And so, like I said, I don't think that you should micromanage your partner. If you feel you have to micromanage your partner, that's not your partner, bro.
Yeah.
It's just not.
And I'll say that all to me sounds like the tidbit of the idea where it's like, if you don't trust your partner, I feel like every action you have is a reflection of yourself. Mm-hmm. So you not trusting your partner is a reflection of you not trusting yourself to make the right decision in selecting a partner. You know what I mean? So if you, in your mind, feel like, oh, she's doing X, Y, and Z, blah, 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 like I can't trust her, it's because in your mind you're thinking, I cannot trust myself to make the right calls, to notice the right things in a partner. And so now I'm too scared to understand if I'm making the right call, to trust my own decision. And so I'm going to look for something in that partner to make myself right, so that way I can start trusting myself. Which is a self-destructive path in general. You know what I mean?
Oh, 100%.
So
100%.
It's not on you. You're not overreacting.
No.
I would say he's a fucking loser. Find someone local.
Yeah,
This long distance shit is not really it anyways.
Yeah, don't
find
do
something
the long
local.
Distance. Don't ever do long distance. It never works. It's never a thing it's never what you think it's going to be.
Right.
Like in the idea of a long distance relationship, or when you're talking, connecting with a person and stuff, you think it's going to be great and it's going to be fantastic. But the longer that relationship goes on, the harder it is to keep that relationship together. Long distance relationships never work out. Even if you guys do fly in to see each other and stuff like that, there's still going to be that moment and that resentment of like, are you doing something behind my back? Oh, I know I did something, so I wonder if they're doing something. Like, it goes both ways, whether it's the girl or it's the guy. There's always going to be something going on with either one of them. And it's just like, you just don't want to have to deal with that. You want to be with a partner that you can see every day, a partner that you can talk to every day, that you guys can, go on dates, and you don't have to worry about that. Like I said, you're not micromanaging their fucking life because they're, a state away or whatever. So it's like he said, get that dude out of there, man.
Yep, facts.
Yeah, get that dude out. Tell him, hey, don't come back here, bro.
Yep.
Don't come back. We're done with you. Okay, This is going to be our last one for today's episode. If you got this far in the episode, thank you guys so much. Appreciate you and love you. Again, patreon.com/My The Asshole Podcast. Get an exclusive episode every single Friday, as well as being able to send in your scenario to be featured on the Tuesday and Sunday show like these lovely people did for today. Follow us on Instagram, TikTok, as well as subscribing on YouTube. Let's get that 2026 going, baby. We're about to take it over. Let's do it. So, let's get on into our last one. Is this a form of cheating? So my girlfriend and I live in separate homes. We've been going out nearly 4 years. One time she went out with her girlfriend on a night out. She met a couple of guys in the pub and a pub she knows, and then went to a nightclub with them. And the four of them went back to her friend's house where they spent the night drinking, etc. before she went home. She told me about this because she couldn't understand her friend's husband's anger about it. I said, "Are you joking? Of course he's fuming, and so am I." I told her this is a boundary that I shouldn't even be discussing, but I never ever want to hear of you going out again and ending up taking any guys back to a house or getting to theirs. So earlier this year, we were in Spain, and there was a night out. I was just staying in the apartment as didn't feel sober enough to go out. And few of her girlfriends were in Spain, and she met up with them. And then she came back in at 7 a.m. as she met a guy, and they went back to his room and partied. Oh, god damn, bro. Her friend hooked up with the guy, and the guy told me this when I met him, and he didn't even know my girlfriend was her pal, so no reason to lie. I said, "That's it. I'm not doing this again," and she begged for another chance and never to do it again. Thought it would be fine as I was staying in. On December 6th, she went out for a birthday with one of the girls from her work, and then the two of them went back to a guy's house they work with. The three of them and his pal till 4 a.m. She said she thought this was fine because he was a workmate. On New Year's, she said she was going out with her friend and met the same two guys, went to a club, and then back to a house party where she brought her friends along to meet them. She insists this is only friendship, and I'm 100% certain she's not had sex or kissed any of them, not that you know of. But they message each other regularly, kisses on the messages from him. I have met him a few times, and one time I was getting her home from work, and she said, "Once you take him home, come back and get us and take me home." They weren't even in the same town. I told her I was angry, disrespected, and that I knew she worked with him, but I have found having drinks and now, I knew she worked with him, but have found out that they were having drinks and now these nights. I think a clear barrier is crossed, and and as much as I love her so much and feel she loves me so much, she continues to do this. Is this cheating or am I overreacting? And I'm just looking for another voice because the ones in my head aren't agreeing with each other. Man, you need some punctuation, my guy. Maybe English is not your first language, but dude,
Jesus Christ,
that one's rough, man. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't think you're overreacting at all because it's mad disrespect. Even the fact that, you know, she's going out and doing all these single activities in a relationship in the first place. It's like, bro, if you have single friends, cool, they're gonna do single girl things, but you in a relationship should not be doing single girl things. Now, it's different if your man goes with you and your girls and you guys go to the pubs and you go to the bars and all that kind of stuff. You go to the club, whatever. That's fine. I understand that because you're with your man and you guys are doing these fun things together. But if you're out with the girls by yourself, bro, that tells me that it's like you're doing single girl activities and anything could happen because alcohol is involved and your friends are involved and your friends can easily peer pressure you. Oh, no. Oh, just kiss him. Oh, just kiss him. It'd be fun. Da, da, da. And then you go and kiss some dude and then, one thing leads to another, as they say, and you end up fucking homeboy and you wake up, realize, oh, shit. I had sex with this dude. And of course, in the scenarios that he brought up, that didn't happen. But I look at it like, as far as bruh,
Yeah.
there could have been a lot of things going on. They may not have kissed or had sex, but, there could have been a little BJ action. There could have been a little hand job action. You never know, bro. These things always find a way to culminate. And then they're texting all the time. The guy is obviously being super flirty with his text. You see that.
Yeah.
I don't know why you didn't get out of there
Sooner.
Yeah. Because you set the boundary. You said, hey, man, I can't deal with this and that. And she's like, oh, no, babe, I love you and I'll never do this again and blah, blah, blah. And then when she goes and do it again. And you stay in the relationship. It's like, bro, no, you set a boundary. If she crosses that boundary, then you leave. You don't stay and hope that she doesn't cross the boundary a second time. Second time's the charm. No, bruh. No. It's she gets one.
Yeah.
She gets mulligan, and that's it.
Yeah.
Like, it's only going to hurt you and put you in this kind of predicament where you're thinking, oh, man, is she cheating on me? Is she not? Like, bro.
Yeah. And that's where I completely agree with you. For you to have the thoughts of like, is this cheating? It is cheating. You have defined it in your mind that it is something you're not okay with. And like my boy said, like setting a boundary is not stating intentions or like stating stuff that you're uncomfortable with. Setting a boundary is, I don't tolerate this. And then if they do whatever they want to do, then you go ahead and cut access. You understand? Because at the end of the day, right, she clearly keeps making excuses, making reasons as to why this is okay, this is fine, and you're just allowing it to happen. You know what I mean? She's like, you set the line, she steps over. You set the line again, she steps over. How many times are you gonna let that happen until it actually is like, oh well, it was just a friendly fuck. You know what I mean? Or something like that. You know what I mean? Where it's like, bro, listen. You already said it, right? The husband was absolutely infuriated because one, I myself, I'm a homeowner, right? I pay for all the bills, I pay for everything, all the utilities, all that stuff. For a woman to then be like, I'm gonna invite another man to enjoy all this shit I get. Yay, I get all this shit. I'm going to invite another man to just take these resources too. That is a complete stranger, a complete random dude. We got snacks in the cabinet. This is my husband's favorite beer right here. I'm sure he wouldn't mind if one was like missing or whatever the case may be. Go ahead and make yourself at home. And you're like, and you're sitting there accepting it multiple times when it's like, bro, she clearly wants to be single. Let her be single.
100%.
You fucking you love her, right? It's one of those things where they say, I don't really like this saying, but like, if you love something, let it go. If it comes back to you, it's yours, right? I don't necessarily like that saying too much, because if you let it go and it goes, then it's one of those things where it's like, all right, then the thing that you let go doesn't really love you back. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so for her to go out multiple times, going home with dudes, like just a party, you could do that at home. Yeah, girl, we got drinks at the house. I got a sound system where you could turn up, dance, shake ass. Yeah. You know what I mean?
If you want a nightclub, baby, I'll
make one at the house.
I got you. Like, I don't get this mentality where, women think it's okay to do that. They think that, I'm in a relationship, but I can still do single girl things. And it's like, nah, you can't. Yeah. You can't do single girl things. That's over and done with. Because
I'm sure if you sat down and thought about what they're doing, right? She went to like parties, went back home with other dudes, and fucking they're probably playing drinking games. Like what kind of games do you think they're playing where she's staying out all night, getting more and more incapacitated, and then coming back like, oh yeah, nothing happened, absolutely nothing. Nothing.
And that's why I'm like, you believe that?
Just get the fuck out, bro.
Yeah, man. Like the fact that you believe that nothing happened is crazy.
Crazy work.
Because I guarantee you, like I said, it may not have been kissing, it may not have been fucking, but
Yep.
it might be a little BJ action, a little
Yep.
hand job action. Like something happened, or she was sitting on that nigga's lap, and
Yep.
like, come on, man, she's
Like you're
disrespecting you.
already on Reddit. Just look up some other subreddits of like the most despicable thing women have done, bro. I referenced it earlier in the episode where it's like dude ate her out and was like, "Damn, baby, you extra wet." It was another dude's nut
Yeah.
that he was tasting but couldn't really understand that it was another dude's nut.
Yeah.
He trusted her that much, and the story came from the woman herself. The woman posted on Twitter of like, yeah, he thought I was extra wet, but it was just another dude's nut. And said that shamelessly.
Damn.
But he had no idea. And it's one of those things where you have no idea and you're just trusting it because you trust yourself, you trust her, but she's probably not someone to trust.
Yeah, bro.
You now just take this information and be like, all right, now I know if a partner does this, I'm gone. I'm out of there. I'm not trusting this anymore. This is not what I want from a partner. I'm dipping.
Yeah, man, because, dude, all you're going to do is just put yourself in perpetual pain, man.
Yeah.
You're going to put yourself in perpetual pain, and then the thing is you know, that pain is going to lead you to do something that you don't want to do. Because I've seen this a lot of times where guys, you know, their girl is doing all this kind of stuff and they feel helpless and hopeless, like, oh, I can't do anything about it. And then they go and, you know, they start beating on her, or, you know, they want to start doing bodily harm to people and shit like that. And it's like, bro, don't get yourself even to that point where you're that mad where you have to, you know, cause physical body harm to either her or people she's around or the guys that she's talking to, whatever it may be. Like, don't do that. Don't even put yourself in that position. Just walk away from it like, it is what it is, man. You know, hey, I should have seen the signs earlier, but I didn't. And, you know,
She belongs to the streets.
send her to the streets, my guy. Let her go. Let her
Yeah.
be. Oh, but that's going to go ahead and be today's episode. Definitely let us know what you thought about all the scenarios. They were pretty juicy today,
Yeah,
man. I don't know
juicy
about
ones
you.
today.
Yeah, man. They were good today. So let us know what you thought about the scenarios as well as our thread today. We love you guys so much. I'll see you guys on Tuesday for another amazing episode. Again, patreon.com/MyLastPodcast. Get that exclusive episode every single Friday, as well as being able to send in your scenario to be featured like these people did on the Tuesday and Sunday show. Got anything for the people before we get on out of here?
No, I mean, just it's one of those things where I appreciate you having me on the show, you know?
Oh, yeah, man.
And then I appreciate everyone that tunes in, listens. I hope they get some value out of it every time. And, you know, I hope this puts you on like a clear path for just smartening up, because most of you guys know what you need to do. You understand. You just need a little bit of like a push in the right direction. So I appreciate you guys coming to us for that kind of push. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right.
That makes sense. Because I think that's the reason why this podcast is as popular as it is in the way that it is, because they look at it like, yeah, I just need that. I need somebody to confirm what I'm thinking is actually right for the decision that I'm making.
Yes.
So.
Yep.
All right. We love you guys all. We'll see you later, and peace.
Peace.